Welcome, I'm Jan Kugel and this is the beginner's guide to the pharmaceutical industry. In this video I will talk about the pharmaceutical market and about the reason why medicine costs so much. I will also cover the drug discovery process, the patent law, and the two main types of pharmaceutical manufacturers. So let's get right to it. The pharmaceutical industry is a booming market. It was worth about $935 billion in 2017, and it will reach $1,170 billion by 2021. This is according to a recent pharma market research report by the Business Research Company. Therefore, it is a stable and growing industry. But most importantly, the pharma industry is a crucial industry for the well-being of the humankind. Where would we be now without antibiotics, painkillers, vaccines, and other life-saving drugs? Not that long ago, HIV was a deadly disease, whereas nowadays people can get old with it. There are countless examples of how the pharmaceutical industry changed our lives in the past dozen years, and the quality of drugs is becoming only better and better. The problem is that the pharmaceutical industry has gotten a bad reputation recently. People directly think about some evil executives who sell medicine for overpriced value, stash the money in their pockets, hop into their private jets, and go sip cocktails on a beach somewhere. Well, the poor suffer. I won't claim that some CEOs earn too much money. However, I will argue that the prices of medicine are not always overpriced and are randomly set only to allow the CEO to buy his third Lamborghini. When people look at the prices of medicine, they rarely take into account the vast amount of money and time that companies and scientists invest in new drug development. According to the American Chemical Society statement from 2019, the cost to develop new pharmaceutical drugs now exceed $2.5 billion. On top of that, it takes between 10 to 15 years to bring a new drug entity to the market. The process of developing new drugs has 5 stages. The first stage is called the drug discovery phase. In this stage, scientists test from 10,000 to 15,000 compounds or molecules for function through insight into disease processes and molecular testing. From those thousands of compounds, only about 250 show some promise and move to the next phase, the drug development. In this phase, which lasts 3 to 6 years, the drugs are tested mainly for toxicity on cell lines, what's called in vitro, and on selected animal species also, what's called in vivo. Only about 5 candidates would do well in this phase and continue to the next stage, which is clinical trials. The trials last 6 to 7 years. Statistically, only one drug candidate will prevail and move forward to the fourth step, which is the new drug application. If the drug is approved and goes to the market, it will be regularly monitored for safety by the authorities. The monitoring is the fifth and last phase of the process and is called post-market drugs safety monitoring. I will not go deeper into clinical trials in this video, but I'm planning to do one about it. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in such a video and I would prioritize it. So if you see now a link somewhere here, this means that the video is out. So make sure to watch it next. Now back to our topic. So as you have seen, the road to a new drug is long and costly. From about 15,000 compounds, only one would reach the market. It would take 15 years, costing about $2.5 billion. Therefore, for a business to sustain itself and have an incentive to develop new innovative drugs, it must have a return for the investment $2.5 billion and then some to thrive. Don't forget about the production costs and all the employees that have to get their paychecks. Some of you may still think, yeah, you're right, but I still feel that the pharma companies rip us off. They can sell the drug forever now and ask for a large amount of money, earning much more than what they have invested in the first place. My reply to it would be no. They can't, because here comes to play a small thing which is called a patent. A patent is a legal defense system. It gives its owner the legal right to exclude others from making or selling their invention. In this case, drugs, for 20 years. But the situation is even less colorful. A company would usually apply for the patent already during the drug discovery phase. This means that by the time the company gets the drug approved for the market, it would have only 10 years left to sell the drug as a monopoly. There are some technicalities in some countries which allow extending a drug patent for a few more years, but I won't get into it in order to not complicate things. In summary, a pharma company gets 10 years to be a sole manufacturer of a drug that took them another 10 years to develop. If you're new to the patent law, you probably ask yourself, how do other companies know how to produce the same drug? Do they steal the recipe? So no. When the pharma company applies for the patent, they must describe precisely how their drug works and what makes it unique. Therefore, it becomes a public knowledge and others have the full blueprint. Therefore, a patent is a double-sided sword. The inventor protects his invention for a small time period, but afterwards, everybody is allowed to copy the invention. It is an incentive to be the first to discover new things, while benefiting the greater good by disclosing your secret. So, as mentioned, as soon as a patent expires, other companies may sell the same product. And when we talk about the pharma companies, we have to distinguish here between two types of those. The innovative pharmaceutical companies who invest a lot of time in research and development of new drugs, but then reap the high returns for about 10 years. On the other side, we have the generic pharmaceutical companies who wait until patents are expired and then manufacture the same drugs without investing much time and money in research. Generic pharma companies only have to show that their drugs have the same active ingredients, the same quality, effectiveness, benefits, strength, and safety. Sometimes the generic pharma companies don't even wait for patents to expire, but actively try to make a patent invalid with an army of attorneys. It sounds wicked because the innovative companies invest tons of money in drug development and then their rights are being snatched from them. But it is legal and benefits the consumer who gets to buy the drug for much cheaper, much earlier. As an example, let's look at a drug called Tamiflu, which was developed by Roche and released to the market in 1999. The price during the exclusivity peaked at $750 US. As soon as several generic drugs entered the market in 2017, the price dropped to $200 US. We are talking about a drop of 73%. Therefore, if you get a subscription from your doctor for any medicine, make sure to ask the pharmacist if they have the same drug from a generic company. Doing so could save you a lot of money. At this point, you should understand the dynamics of the pharmaceutical market and the reasons for the initial high costs of medicine. What do you think about the medicine prices after watching this video? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked the video, click the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel. That was all for today. See you in the next video.